Okay.
All right, you magnificent bastards. This time we're going to do another distillation experiment, and it's going to be with mead. Mead, long story short, it involves honey in the same way that apple is to cider, honey is to mead. And we have a very generous gift of 200 gallons from Meridian Hive here in Austin, Texas. The giant tote of mead blended with muscat wine.
What do we got?
What's up? How we doing?
Doing well. I'm
What's your name? Cayce?
Yes.
Cayce from Meridian Hive. Jake set this up, and we're very excited. So basically, we're getting a whole bunch of mead blended with muscat?
Yes.
Okay. And Emma's gonna distill it, and we're gonna see what happens. Because why not? You're good right there.
Yes, sir.
I think of mead as like a light wine almost color. What's going on in here?
So this is orange muscat, grapes, and honey. This was actually made in 2018.
Okay.
The reason that this is darker, it wasn't originally this dark. As we were growing, someone set this in the back of the, behind the cold box in the warehouse.
Aha.
We kept getting busy. Someone was eventually going back here and saying, hey, we've got this tote. Is that honey?
What is that?
We looked on there. Hey, somebody forgot to tend to the...
Does that somebody still work there?
Maybe not. Maybe.
So we got reached out to by Jake Clements, Texas Whiskey Festival, and sort of a pioneer in getting various arms of the beverage industry in Texas all working together.
It's fun.
Yeah, so he called and he's like, hey, I got these guys in Meridian Hive, and they don't know what to do with this thing.
That's right.
So we can distill a lot of things out and have something really high quality for us. What makes it not up to your specifications, not having distilled it?
So it's just because it's got that much headspace in it, and
Right.
because it was sitting in the back of the warehouse untended, it just got oxidized.
Oh, okay. That
So
makes sense.
that's really-
That's not going to affect distillation at all.
At all.
And I heard we were like your 8th call?
Second, actually.
Oh, okay.
So I need a baby still.
Yeah.
Y'all are the only person I know with a baby still. Is what is in this tote right here.
Okay.
And that is concentrated.
I'm not smelling anything that I could pinpoint as an off note or a fault in the nose.
You said it oxidized. How is this different than the stuff that hasn't oxidized?
You smell that richness?
Yeah.
And when this is on its game,
Yeah.
you taste that richness, that fullness. And this one is just like slips right off. There's nothing there.
Oh, it's in the flavor.
Ah, there it is.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's like
In the
It's
taste.
not wrong though. It's not like, oh God, it's
very,
just like,
very flat.
there's a, yeah, it's almost like you left the bottle open.
So let's see if we can wake it up by going through still. So before we dive in, we're going to get just a little insight, plan of action with Jesse Willson, our good friend over in New Zealand, the StillIt YouTube channel. Let's talk to Jesse. We already got like a big old delivery of mead, but it's also been blended with muscat wine. Do you foresee any considerations, complications as we go through the distillation process?
In general, I would say, yeah, cross your fingers, see how it tastes along the way, and I think like most things that are a new distillate to you, you kind of have to let it guide you, if that makes sense. I know that sounds really hippie, but the main example, I guess, would be something like whiskey versus something like most fruit spirits, where a whiskey, a lot of the flavor comes towards the tail's end, but for fruit, a lot of the flavor comes towards the heads. Yeah, I think it's just a case of run it and use your senses to get the best you can. How much of this stuff have you got to make?
Well, there's 200 gallons of it.
The one thing I was going to say is copper is your friend. The copper will likely help out with that a little bit, if it is there. The only problem I could see with the wine is that it may have been dosed with sulfate.
Like if the sulfate's coming through, how does that present itself? If it's a flavor, is it a smell? What does sulfate look like whenever it's coming through a still?
It could come through almost rotten eggy, if that. I wouldn't stress about it too much. It's just a little thing to, you know.
I like pretty much all food and drinks out there. There are no limits. I'll eat my own hand before I eat an egg. I suddenly became a lot less excited about this project, just for the potential of rotten egg, skanky ass, smelly bullshit coming through.
Nope.
That's why it's sealed.
Check out Jesse's channel, StillIt, on YouTube. It's really good stuff. Brianna, what are we doing?
We are distilling mead.
Mead. So we're not sponsored by Meridian Hive. They're just some cool local people that dropped off 200 gallons.
It says mead in Austin. Are we drinking all these?
You have somewhere to be?
No.
Previously on Magic Spoon.
We must travel the land and assemble a fellowship of heroes. With the combined might of a full variety pack, we may have a chance to save the planet from tasty annihilation.
We join our heroes in a moment of respite after a long journey into the southern forests as Rex contemplates the riddle of cereal.
I see the powers of the magic spoon have made you graceful and light, Tiny Mooch. The 0 gram sugar, 14 grams protein, and only 4 net grams of carbs in each serving have made you lighter than air.
Yes, I feel it. The carbs were weighing me down.
All the better. You want to look slim and trim for our meeting with the Fruity Ranger.
Why? Is she hot?
I mean, she's a cereal box.
Cereal boxes can be hot.
Shh. Quiet.
I'm not talking. Unless you meant me saying and asking all that stuff about whether or not that box was hot.
Shut up. There's something in the trees.
Is it the hot box?
An ambush. Sugary feral cereals. They hope to steal your nutrition.
My lord, grant me the power of the
It's the Fruity Ranger.
Hey, you want to join a variety pack in quest to save the world?
Okay.
Keep the story going and experience the healthy deliciousness of Magic Spoon. Keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, low-carb, and GMO-free Magic Spoon. Go to magicspoon.com/whiskey to grab a variety pack and try it today. And use the promo code whiskey for $5 off. Now shipping to US and Canada.
Ooh, foamy.
Whoa. Ooh, that's nice. Yeah. Wow.
So because we're doing
Nice.
a distillation of mead, and technically it's mead mixed with muscat wine.
Okay.
It's a blend. We don't have any of the fermentation process to go through. It's already fermented. We just put it right in the still and we fire it up, and John right now is pulling off the alcohol from the still. So in order to fill that time, let's interview Brianna. Okay. Have you seen the Zack Snyder cut, the Snyder cut of the Justice League?
No.
What do you think the Justice League is?
Superheroes. I do really like Batman. I think he's pretty cool.
Did you hear that recording of him flipping out on set? And
Christian Bale?
yeah,
I actually, yes, I've heard that.
who do we want to flip out at?
Where's John?
Yeah, how about the next time John comes in? This is like method acting. You're gonna go full Christian Bale,
Okay.
and then you're channeling vigilante rage. See right here? I'm already. He just stumbled into our shot.
Shoot.
Our perfectly crafted shot.
John! How could you do this? I can't believe you've done this. Walking in to our shop?
Keep going, keep going.
This is a disgrace.
Yes.
Get out. You know what? Get out of here.
John, get out of here. I am justice, here to serve it on a plate to get you out.
Shit, I'm losing it.
So we're on the way to test the results. The question is this a new type of alcohol, of liquor, of booze, this thing that we created? Does that have a category?
No.
So it's spanking new?
Yeah, it's not brandy. It's not, I don't know. I don't know what it is.
So we'll just see if it deserves to exist. Okay, so it's time to do the tasting. We've gone through a distillation process. Daniel, what happened with this mead mixed with a little bit of the wine?
So we're tasting something? Did you bring it?
Why would I bring it?
Did you bring it?
I don't ever know anything.
Alex, why didn't you text me?
Yeah, Alex.
Anyway, so the mead guys had a mead that wasn't up to mead par. However, that doesn't affect what we do with distillation. So we decided to take it from them and distill it. Distillation's not all equal. Just because Scotch is double distilled doesn't mean you have to double distill everything in the world for it to be good.
Sure.
We call a first run a stripping run because of how we intend to use it.
Yeah.
But a first run doesn't have to be a stripping run.
A stripping run is basically the first time you're pulling the wash. It's akin to a beer.
Right.
Yeah, pulling that through a still, you're just trying to get all the alcohol. You're not trying to find the flavors, you're just trying to get all of the alcohol possible. And then in the next run, you put it, all that stuff that you ran through the first time, you put it through again, called the spirit run, and that's when you're trying to figure out, well, where are the flavors, what am I gonna leave out, what am I gonna keep?
Right. What we're saying is the first distillation can be a spirit run if you're dealing with something that you want to play with gently. So we did both.
Oh, so we can compare.
First things first. This is what we started with.
That's
the mead.
Okay.
This is gonna be our reference pour.
A reminder pour.
Yeah, and mainly for nose because the palate's kind of flat.
Brianna hasn't tried this yet.
I haven't.
That's true.
She wasn't here whenever the Meridian Hive delivery showed up.
So give it a shot.
What does it smell like to you?
Whoa, super, super sweet. Kind of like pears, actually.
Do you remember that really dark purpley red Welch's grape juice?
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, I smell that a lot in here, actually. Can I drink it now?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how different or not different is the taste?
The taste is a lot different.
Yes.
Definitely doesn't taste exactly like that juice. It's a little bit more like, I don't know the word, like dustier.
Yeah.
It oxidized.
But there's still that like grape flavor.
Okay, so here's what Emma gave us. John did the first round, Emma did the second round.
Okay.
So John did the single distillation run and captured it. Emma did the double distillation run and captured it. She also captured cut points for us. Like, here's where I decided to start keeping it if I was gonna keep it.
As the liquid is coming off of the still, it's going to be different flavors that show up over time as that liquid is coming off of the still. So the very first things, like the heads, it's going to be a different flavor than the stuff that's coming in the middle of that stream, which is going to be the hearts. And then at the end, it's going to be the tails.
Okay, so let's start with the very, very first thing off the still that Emma decided to keep. Keep these in order somehow, because this one's John and this one's Emma.
Ooh, I can smell it from here. That's nice.
Huh. I am pleased at how much flavor is in there.
What's the difference between them?
This one, this is mustier, almost bready.
Ooh, it does smell like bread.
Yeah.
But like Amish people bread.
There is a nicer sweet note on this one.
On the first distillation run?
Yes.
Yeah, this is way more meaty.
It's like a lighter sweetness.
The sweetness on this is in the background. It's like a binding ingredient.
Like glue.
No, like a molasses in a granola bar. Okay, that's the second one. Now we're like right into the sweet spot of the hearts.
The first run, the John run, this is more recognizably
mead.
The mead fruitiness.
Right.
The second run, Again, this is getting towards that breadiness is turning almost into a Play-Doh.
See, to me, this one stays closer to a wine. A really dry white
Oh,
wine.
very dry, yeah.
I mean, I agree that the first run definitely has the heft, but it's a heft that I don't like.
So, quick question. Do you like meads, or are they too sweet for you? Because you're not a huge sweet guy.
To me, mead is like fudge. I really love it for 2 sips and then I'm done.
Yeah.
Fudge.
That sounds like a euphemism.
It does. That's Emma's. And that's John's, and the same thing. That John version is getting closer to something I would actually enjoy. John's is still more recognizably mead, but has less of the funk. And Emma's is way more of the white wine.
I'm still preferring the first run of John's than I am to the second run of Emma's. It feels like there's more body to that fruity honey. It honestly, it doesn't really come across as honey. It's more of like a floral.
It is very much
fruity floral
perfume.
sweetness.
Emma's leaves room for barrel impact. John's, I don't think does. I think the barrel impact would fight with John's. So let's jump down to 124 proof. Okay, now we're starting to get a little bit lower. Still, I think you guys are gonna prefer John's version. Emma's, once it hit the stride of that white dry wine, it just stayed there. Because I'm not finding a massive variation yet on Emma's.
I think there's a little bit of that wine in this John
Starting to show up in that one?
Yeah.
I was finding that John's progression in the first run, every step it was a noticeable shifting into the more and more of that floral fruit sweetness. Do you have a favorite on the nose so far?
I do.
Okay.
J4.
For me,
that's when John's actually came around.
J3.
Yeah, I think mine was J3 too.
Yeah.
Now we're starting to get a little bit of the barnyard mulch into John's as we get lower and lower. We're at 116 now.
Even with the mead and a honey thing, the tails do kind of follow this path of you get some funkier flavors
down in the low end.
Down in the low end,
Yeah, they're kind of get really similar to each other now.
First ones all the way up into the middle ones, you were able to find the differences, and the longer it goes, the closer they get.
Yeah. All right, let's try the last one. This is definitely this is definitely what I would consider to be tails. Emma's is starting to smell like wet paper. Oh yeah. And burnt granola. Like you were baking and it went a little too far.
A little bit of that wet dog.
Yeah, wet dog and burnt granola.
I'm feeling the J3, the John 3.
I'm feeling the J4.
Okay, so let's go in.
Overall, you want to try them?
Let's try them.
Okay, so I'm going to start with J3.
Sipping your backwash?
Oh, I don't backwash.
Oh.
I'm pure.
Wow.
I mean, that's not,
I backwash.
Sipping that fudge though.
But
Doesn't waste any of that fudge.
Did you just? Yeah, she totally did. Right into the open glass.
Here you go.
Okay.
Ooh, that's nice though.
No, actually, this one reminds me
kick to it, though.
of more of like a really meaty scotch with a lot of the honey notes.
Made my eyes water.
Oh no, that's it. If you like that nose, you're gonna love this palate. The palate is everything that you found in that nose.
Let's establish. This turned out really nice.
Yeah.
This is a very high proof, very, very drinkable though. I think a lot of things that people like about mead
are in this first distillation.
And I can even find out some of the wine elements too. I can even pick out some of the wine stuff.
This is where we match the sweet spot for John's run with the Emma's run.
So on E3.
I know you didn't like the nose, but the palate came back to the mead.
Oh.
This is E3. Okay. This is the matching John's third that we actually really loved.
Okay.
That's actually not bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa. The honey.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
That's what I mean. Like I know those.
Breaks through.
That's where the honey's living.
Yes. In Emma's second run.
Honey's living in the second distillation in Emma's hard cut.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
Right. Now the nose is not there.
No, this nose is not there.
Right. But the palate. Oh man, that is tasty.
So this is the Emma's second distillation.
Fourth run, yeah, which is
wow.
Which matches John's fourth.
That's honey. That is honey right there. Honey money.
The 3 and the 4, both with John's first run and Emma's second run.
Yes.
The 3 and the 4.
Really,
that's where the good stuff is.
Yeah.
So the question now is, of course it is, because that's the hard cut. Of course it was always going to be 3 and 4. The real question is, which one do you think is most representative of something you would like to either sip on and just bottle, or barrel? And those are two completely different approaches.
I think if we were just going to pour as is, then it would be one of the first cut of John's, the 3 and the 4. I think if there's something that's going to be barrel compatible, I think it's probably going to be the Emma's.
Yeah, I think so too.
Barrel. Maybe we do a 15 gallon barrel of Emma's, and the 5 gallons that would go into the barrel, that's just for the tasting room. Okay.
So 5 gallon, we would have the 5 gallon heart cut right now.
Okay.
Okay.
So I remember you saying that you can go 100 miles an hour.
Yes.
On rollerblades.
Yes.
Wait, 100 miles an hour?
Yeah, I can.
You do realize that on foot, I can run at least 105 miles an hour. Game on?
Game freaking on!
You want to race?
Yeah, I want to race.
So the race is going to go from over here to this frozen husk of a plant all the way to, I'll set on my smartphone for a photo finish if you're lucky.
Yeah, I want to make it interesting.
What do you want to do to make it interesting? You want to go full Hundy? You want to go full Hundy?
What does that mean?
It sounds cool. Yeah, like $100.
$100,
I think.
100 pennies.
Now, if we're boss, then we do full Hundy mill.
Oh.
You want to do
yeah.
full Hundy mill?
Full Hondy Mill. Let's go.
Let's go full
All
Hundy
or
Mill.
nothing. Is that $1 million?
Yeah. No, it's $100 million. On your mark, get set, go!
I don't